But the newfound freedom of crawling and all that goes with it comes at an emotional price. It's a time of great anxiety for the baby human. Max has come shopping with his mother. He looks around to see what potential the space has for crawling. It's full of new and fascinating things. Although Max approves of his mother's choice in shoes, in a minute there will be more interesting things to do. He just has to wait for the right opportunity. While his mother's busy, Max takes off. It's hard to stop a crawler. Crawling babies cover a distance of 3 football fields a day, and they like to practice crawling every minute they can. Max loves his newfound independence, but at this age, the further he crawls from his mother, the more anxious he becomes and needs to be reassured. Like a comet circling the sun, he goes away and zooms back over and over again. Psychologists call this emotional refueling, and it's something Max will need to do more often as he faces the next major challenge that lies in front of him. After many months of crawling, it's time to take a stand and rise to the next step. Kiana is 11 months. She proudly pulls herself up from all fours to a position supported by 3 points. Unfortunately for Kiana, there's still an essential component missing for independent walking. Just as she discovered when she was learning to sit and reach and crawl, balance is the key. Without it, she needs support to steady herself. Now she tests herself. 1 step, 2 steps. It's called cruising, and this stage of movement allows her to strengthen her leg muscles and experiment with balance. But when there's no cruising surface, it's back on all fours. Especially when her favorite toy is across the room. Natalie is testing her walking skills. At 11 months, like Kiana, she's not yet ready to do it on her own, but she's begun to cruise. Using every possible surface within her reach, she edges along sideways to get to her destination. Food, of course, being her favorite attraction. This experiment is designed to find out what helps babies make decisions about what's safe and what's not when they're at this stage of moving around. Karen Adolph's first step was to determine what the essential components of cruising were. As the gap widens, Natalie stretches farther. It's decision time. What to do? She really wants the treat, but it could be dangerous. Sooner or later, she reaches a gap that's just too much for her. She tries to use Dr. Adolph for support. But failing that, she reverts to crawling until she reaches a surface she can use to pull herself up. Therefore, an essential component of cruising is hands. A baby human uses everything in her natural environment to help her move from place to place. For a baby moving out of the crawling stage, things look much different from this vantage point. With her eyes fixed firmly ahead and her hands guiding her, she judges what she can and can't do safely. But feet are in motion as well, far from the cruiser's eye line. Karen Adolph set out to learn what happens to the baby human when the danger lies underfoot. So she puts Natalie back on the walkway. This time she has a solid handrail to hold on to. The gap will be at her feet. Her eye level is far from the floor, and Natalie continues to take her cues from her hands. To make sure her fall wasn't just chance, the gap is widened. She is shown the hole. She sees the hole. She falls into the hole. Not being aware of her feet gets Natalie into trouble. Again, as with every stage of movement, like with cruising, our baby human must relearn lessons to adapt to her environment. She will soon learn that there won't always be someone to catch her, and the riskiest stage in the baby human's movement is yet to come. She's learned to sit up, crawl, and even cruise. But now she's ready for the most exciting time of all. She will balance her ever-changing body on 2 tiny feet to attempt, for the first time, her uniquely human act of walking. She's okay, but needs to find another launching pad. Up again, she feels a sense of pride. Look, Ma, no hands. While being an exciting time, walking can also be a scary proposition, filled with many pitfalls. For Jacob, walking means independence from his mom, something he's not quite ready for.